Today's guest has mastered the art of short-form content. Starting out with making fitness videos, he rapidly realized he has potential for much more.
30 accounts running at the same time. I was making like $1,000 on each account from the TikTok creativity program. And I was like making more money than the guys at my internship, like the people who were in proper jobs there were making the whole year. I was making more than that in like a month.
Amongst the first people running multiple theme pages, he generated over 1 billion views across his channels. Soon after, he saw himself already working with multiple entrepreneurs and building their brands to millions of followers. He then doubled down on his knowledge and network he had and is now CMO at 3 7-figure companies.
I never really made that much money, and then I land this, and now I've got everything I've ever wanted. I have a team with me, I have an EA, I have friends, I have like the world. Like I've never been happier.
In this episode, we'll break down his exact blueprint for growing on social media, his unorthodox way of becoming successful, and uncover the hidden psychology used by the elite to secure generational wealth. Faizaan Baig. Welcome everybody to the TCU podcast number 4 with my man Faizaan right here. Welcome to the TCU podcast.
I appreciate it, Josh, man. Thank you so much for having me.
For the people who don't probably know you, please introduce yourself for a second, just shortly what you do, what you're working on right now, just so people get to know the first touch here at the start.
Yeah, so I'm Faizaan. I've been in the online space for the last 3 years, and I essentially now build media teams inside of 7 and 8 figure companies. That's what's on my bio at the moment. It always changes depending on what mood I'm in and what I'm working on. But currently what I'm working on Payday. So Payday is a fintech, a finance technology company, and we position ourselves at the point of sale to distribute commissions automatically between sales reps and the business owner. So anyone who's watching this podcast now, you probably have come across the Sam Millsap situation. A lot of different scams are happening. Well, it's actually not their fault, right? The business owner, they usually get 100% of the money whenever they close the deal, and they don't have sophisticated accounts departments, remote, for example, payroll systems either. So they're just spending money, right? They see all this money coming in, they just spend it on the next car, the next watch, whatever. And then at the end of the month, when they get they go through the Google Sheets, literally it's Google Sheets the way that you guys do it. They'll go through and be like, okay, how much money do we owe to the sales rep? They're like, wait, we spent it, or we've spent a large majority of it. So what we do is we avoid that from happening by instantly paying it out when your payment comes through. This is what we're currently working on. We have 2 public, well, not at the time, we haven't launched them, but we have 2 public partnerships with WAP and Fanbases, and they're going to be coming out in the next 2-3 weeks. Probably when this podcast comes out, I'm hoping that we have fully launched those partnerships. But that's one side of the things that I do. And then the other one is I am the co-owner of AST, Affinity Sales Training. So I help media teams inside there. I'm more of I build all the media teams in there at the moment because I started from scratch. And what we do is we teach remote sales to people in Ireland, across Europe, all over the world. And we help them get their first sort of remote sales jobs, train them up. And yeah, that's literally it. Would you know? Yeah, so Josh Talks Biz, Joshua Ajayi. Yeah, so he's the co-owner on both those companies. He used to run Shelby Sapp sales team. So yeah, we have a pretty cracked team here on my end. Yeah, that's what I've been working on.
Love to hear that. I mean, it's super stacked, many projects. How would you say is it to manage these different projects? I heard it's now 3 or 4 at the moment.
Yep.
And I mean, that's a lot, different teams, different people there. And yeah, completely different things you do probably day by day, right?
Yeah, so...
What would you say, sorry for interrupting. How do you manage this? I mean, would you prefer for yourself to have one big project, or are you super fine right now? Hey, yeah, I'm working on 3-4 different missions right now. I see for you.
So people think that these are all small projects, but they're all actually massive. They're all big projects. People will probably just take on one of these. But just the way I operate and the way things have just landed in my lap, I just enjoy taking on big projects. I enjoy doing big things that changes a lot of people's lives. My whole thing has always been impact, leaving a legacy for your kids, leaving a legacy for the people who actually look up to you. So many people on my Instagram, they know me from my days when I was doing fitness and I was clipping. So loads of people just stayed along the journey, and they're super inspired by the fact that I'm taking on massive projects. It seems like as if I'm working loads. But essentially, managing all these different things is easy, right? You're going to hear me say it probably a lot over the next like however much time we have, where things are as easy and as hard as you want to make them, right? If you believe that managing all these projects will be easy and that everything's already basically done, they will be that way. Whereas if you think, oh, these are so big, I don't know how I'm going to do this, it will be that way. So that's the way I operate. And then obviously I have a great team. I'm a builder and an operator. So I make sure that I have good skill sets around me that can allow me to do my job, reach my North Stars. And then I also am the one in the mix, teaching them, upskilling. And yeah, that's essentially it.
No, I love that. That's super interesting for me, because yeah, I'm like a bit of a lower stage right now where I'm just like managing one main info business, right, and just like content on the side. But it's really cool to look up to people like you right now, where you're working on these different big projects and like, I mean, yeah, of course you're outsourcing, but you gotta have the knowledge, of course, to be at this stage. But yeah, let's talk about. I mean, you had to do a ton of work over the past years to even get to this stage. I mean, I heard you started out. I've did a little bit of my research on your videos. I think it was like a Range Rover internship, right? Where you
Yep.
like initially started out like at kind of the start of your journey. I mean, of course, you did school and stuff before that, but more when it transitioned to the job world, as we call it, right?
Yep.
How was it? And from this point, how did you transition to like maybe even like your first own business?
Yeah. So the internship wasn't actually one of the first things that I like got into. It was I was at like I was really good in school, always good at maths, always good at the sciences, and then um, just it came to the time where it was uni time, right? You hit 18, you're now applying to unis, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just chose the hardest subject possible. I chose aerospace engineering, and at the time when I was applying as well, I was like, you know what, I don't just want to do a bachelor's, let me do a master's. So I instantly opted for the master's. It's a 4-year program, and I went to uni. I had no intentions of doing business, no intentions whatsoever. I was like, I'm gonna go become an engineer, an aerospace engineer, like a rocket scientist basically, and I'm gonna go work for NASA, go do some crazy shit, and that was the goal. That was the entire goal. And then I think a year and a half in, I broke up with the girl that I had at the time, and that set me back a lot as a manager. Where like when your first breakup, your first heartbreak, it kind of just rocks your whole thing. So I went into this like slump for I think 8 months, and it wasn't until I came back to Doha. So this is where I grew up. This is where I live. This is where I am right now. And I came back to Qatar, and we went to the FIFA World Cup, and we were watching the England versus Wales game. Rashford scored a really good goal in it, like a free kick. I remember it vividly, and we were sat in like the player box. So you know where like players' families are. We were sat in that box, and then I was looking around, and I was like, the way my life is going right now, I will never be able to afford to come and sit in this box, come and like be in these environments, be able to do whatever I want, like go to whatever I want to do. So I was like, okay, something's got to change. Let me fix up. Let me do something. I fly back to the UK because obviously I had uni at the time, and the only thing that I could possibly imagine of doing, because everything seems so daunting in the beginning. You just don't know where to start. Like, should I do econ, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to the gym. At this time, Iman was going like crazy. Andrew Tate was going crazy, and so was Mike Thurston. Like, this was their era. So I was like, okay, these guys are all saying just go to the gym, work out. So I was like, okay, I'll go work out. Started working out, and I then started like seeing content from Tate where I think it wasn't even just Tate, I think it was Iman. Like, all these guys were just saying, instead of consuming, start creating. So I then became a fitness influencer. I would literally, like, while I did not have a good physique, while I was still getting like trained up, I was still building muscle, put the camera up, start flexing in the mirror. Like, I'm talking like I thought I was a Gymshark athlete, right? And I was doing all of that, and then it just slowly progressed over time into where I am now. But I want to go back because there's some stuff before that. When I was 15, I started Forex trading. So I tried it. Like, I've always in my life wanted to try things. I've always found things easy. So when I was 15, I tried Forex trading. And at the time, because I was so young, I had to put my mum's details in to the broker or whatever it was. Literally took her passport, ID, whatever it was, typed it in, got an account approved, put all my money that had been saving up, because I used to do like this. I used to like do all sorts of like little side hustles in school. All the money that I saved up, put it into that account, Started like forex trading based on signals, right? Based on signals. Somehow I flipped the account from like £200 or £300 into like 1,000 overnight. And I thought I was like the bee's knees. I thought I was the greatest forex trader on the planet, right? Leveraging like crazy, whatever. And then I was like, okay, let me try and flip this 1,000 into 10K. And Joshua, guess what happened?
You lost it all.
Of course, I lost the entire thing. So, and then like along the way, I've tried like different things like drop shipping. I've tried all those things, but that was like in before. And even then, I still didn't ever want to go into business or thought I was going to become an entrepreneur. I was just like, I hear people talking about this. I just want to try it out. So fast forward it back now to when I was in the gym, thought I was an influencer. And then somehow along the way, what happened? Oh yeah, I was part of this group. So me and my friend Ryan from school, he's now in high ticket sales. He is a manager for a really big company in the US. He works with us, and he built like a little accountability group. It was called Levels Tribe, and like in this accountability group, you'd come on like every Saturday, say what you did throughout the week, you'd set goals. Like it was like one of those like early days business groups, right? And there was one guy in there called Christian. Christian was doing TikTok clipping. He was clipping up stuff, and he was making a good amount of money. His niche was good, everything was funny. So I was like, yo, bro, can you teach me what you're doing? He literally hops on a call with me, like he's the one who put me on, taught me how to clip, taught me what niche he was doing, where he was getting podcasts from, and I just started doing it myself. And this was the first time like the spark in me like got lit, and I just started running through walls with this thing. Like I had like 5-6 accounts. I was like clipping every single day. And at the same time, I'd also applied to an internship with Jaguar Land Rover, which is what you're talking about earlier. Because I was like, at least let me get some experience. I don't know if the business is going to work out, so let me at least build this safe option. Got the job there, was doing an internship, was working in a factory, literally waking up at like 5 a.m. to go to this job, would come back at 5 p.m. And at the same time, I was also trying to get into this like bodybuilding competition. So I was like shredding down, going to the gym super like religiously. So I was like basically maxing out my day. I was probably sleeping for 7 hours and just maxing out my day with clips, editing, posting, going to work, coming back, gym, meal prep. Like it was a crazy time in my life. I was super disciplined. And then it got to a point where the niches that I was in, they were called like, so basically all the accounts were called Emerald something. Emerald was like my tagline. It was like Emerald Secrets, Emerald Stories, The Emerald Agenda, Emerald Conspiracies, like anything Emerald, right? And I would have like 20,
everything.
Bro, like any keyword. It was like at the point, like I'd exhausted so many options where I think towards the end, I was literally saying stuff like Emerald Agenda with like 2 E's. Like I'd really exhausted all keywords. So I had like 20, 30 accounts running at the same time. I was making like $1,000 on each account from the TikTok creativity program. And I was like making more money than the guys at my internship, like the people who were in proper jobs there were making the whole year. I was making more than that in like a month. So this is when it clicked for me where I don't want to do this no more. I'm not going to get a job. I don't really want to apply to any jobs either. I'm just going to go all in to the clipping space. For me, it was something to do with clipping. I was like, I'm just going to go all in. Somehow along the way, I was like, my ego got involved where I was like, no one knows that these things are me because they're all faceless TikTok accounts. No one knows this is me. No one. So let me go do it for clients, right? Let me go and put my face to the name. Let me start an Instagram account around this. I dropped fitness at this time because I was like, I need to focus on one thing that's actually making me money because I knew fitness doesn't make you money either. So went all in that. Started like DMing a ton of influencers. Like every influencer, every entrepreneur on the planet has a DM from me. Like fast forward to now, the craziest part is that I'm now working with some of the influencers that I initially DM'd, and that when I'm like sending them a reel because it's funny, I literally scroll up and I'm like, holy shit, I DM'd you in 2020 or whenever it was 2022, 2023, saying, hey, do you need a short form video editor? And then I'm like looking at it now and I'm like doing all their content. I'm building the media teams within their companies. And it's like, he would have never imagined that this is actually how it would have worked out. Like I got aired. Like these influencers were not replying to me. So now it's crazy looking back where I'm literally in their teams. Anyway, that's a little forward track. But was DMing a bunch of people. And then I get this DM on my TikTok from a Turkish billionaire. At the time, I didn't know it was a Turkish billionaire. And he's like, I want to pay you, like, the craziest proposition ever, by the way. Like, it's unheard of. He goes, I'm going to pay you to make videos that you're already making on your account, but I want to give you the information. So because he was like super knowledgeable, he'd read all the books, he was like super spiritual, super esoteric, that was the niche that I was in. He was just like giving me information. We would hop on calls, he would tell me about himself, tell me all this stuff. I would then use ChatGPT. Like, I was one of the first sort of ChatGPT users and like AI users ever. Like, I was doing AI image stuff and AI video generation before it was even public, like before it was even a thing. So
It's crazy.
I was like combining all this stuff, making even more money now because he was giving me all this extra knowledge. He was paying me to make videos. I think my first retainer was $2,500. He would pay me through crypto. And it was insane. So that happened, and then I wanted to...
How?
Yeah, go on.
Sorry
Ask me
for
questions because
interrupting.
there's been so much. Yeah.
Nah, I just don't want to miss that. But I think it's super interesting to hear how he found you at the time. I mean, did he just like find your own personal brand, which you started
No.
building out after the clipping stuff? Or
So he found the clipping account. So he found my Emerald accounts, whatever it was, and he just messaged. I never look at my messages on TikTok because they're so like crazy, and I was going viral at the time. Like, I had got very, very close to 1 billion followers across all social media accounts. Like, I was massive, like
What?
massive. So he was like, he just DM'd me, and I like somehow opened it. I like somehow read it and was like, you know what, I want to entertain this guy. Hopped on a call, and it just worked out like that. So I had no personal brand at the time. No one knew like who I was, what I was doing.
That's crazy. So he basically just messaged a random guy where he didn't knew who was behind that. So just like
Nope.
a faceless account, and he just basically gambled that this is a cool guy, and
Yep.
it turned out to be you.
That was
Crazy.
that was the one. Do you have any other questions? I know I've said a lot.
Yeah, so far, I mean, it's just super interesting. From what I've heard, you had pretty fast this kind of disciplined, hard-working attitude. Is that correct? I mean, you had like already early on when you started watching these gym influencers and before the clipping stuff, like even at Range Rover, you had like already a super high discipline, or already in school. I mean, you did like nearly a NASA's management, right? Like aerospace engineering. I mean,
Yeah.
that takes a ton of work and ton of discipline already to do that. So what would you say, how did you develop that? Was it like from your parents, or was it just like your natural self?
So there's two things here. It is, so the girl that I was with at the time, I genuinely thought that she was going to be the one. Had no interest in any other girls, like nothing like that, and really, really liked her. Thought it was it. So then when we broke up, for me it was like, holy shit, the whole world had come down. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, where I was going. It was like super, like those typical, like, you know, those memes you see, like, bro, I was in the trenches. So that was one of the instances. And then before that, like, my dad and my mom have always like pushed me to like go and do things, try things. They were super high achievers themselves. And my dad is like a fighter pilot. So he used to be a fighter pilot for the Air Force, and now he's a pilot in Qatar. So in Qatar Airways. So he always had this like super hardworking nature, like from his upbringing. Like, he's made generational improvements, and when people talk about generational wealth, he's done it. So for me, I always used to see him, and because he's like technically my like role model, like he's always who I've seen throughout growing up, I just knew that was the way things are to be done. So whenever I did anything or tried anything, I always had that mindset because that's what my dad instilled in me. But I lost it when I broke up with my girl. I like went the other way. I would then party, do whatever. Like, I was super degen. And then it was that moment I'm talking about at the FIFA World Cup where I was like, holy shit, like this was the goal that I had in the beginning, but I lost sight of it. So it just, for me, it just flipped the switch where I just kept gaslighting myself into thinking I'm already that person. I'm already the person who's like got a Gymshark contract. I'm already the person who makes tons of money. Like, I associated myself with the end goal. And then things became super easy. Like, I knew what I was working towards. I knew I didn't want to be in this like existence that I'm currently in. I wanted to prove to everyone that I am the guy who I say I am. Like, when I say something, it happens. When I say something, I do it. So I just became a man of my word. So it became very easy. Like, I would just gaslight myself. Like, I remember I used to post like my cold showers on Instagram. And it's like, just before I'd get into a cold shower, I would literally just be telling myself like, bro, you're already in there. Like, it's not that cold. It's not that cold. It is freezing, by the way. And I'd say, it's not that cold. So I would just get in, do it. And I was just like, I would just do all the things that people say you should do, but I would do them. Like, I wasn't someone who would say they were doing something on Instagram and then I wouldn't be doing that. Like, I was a man, and I always have been a man of my word. So that's kind of where the discipline comes from.
That is super inspiring to see. What would you say, was your dad your main mentor throughout the years, or when was the point where you started realizing, hey, there are other people out there who have a different perspective on my path, and how important were mentors in general on your journey?
So I wouldn't necessarily say I have mentors or I have like idols. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in putting people on pedestals because it makes it unachievable, right? Whereas what I would say is, I would say like my dad's my teacher. I'd say he like taught me most things that I know, given me my worldview, but he gave me as much as he could with his like expertise and what he knows. For me, then it was more about looking for people on Instagram, so like Andrew Tate, Iman, seeing how they think and they see the world, and adopting bits and pieces from each person. So I think of myself like a Lego character or a jigsaw, right? It's like taking pieces that you believe are hyper competitive and ultra competitive to help you get to that end goal. So I was taking the base and the frame that my dad gave me and then just like picking pieces online from people I saw, which is why I did ice baths, ice showers, whatever, gym, blah, blah, blah. And it's like I was just picking all these pieces, putting them together. And then this is how I've now got to where I am today, because I continually do that. You'll see on my stories, I talk about Jungian psychology. I talk about a lot of advanced things, because like just slowly over time, I continually just add infinity stones to like myself. That's the way I think of it.
Yeah, it's interesting path, because yeah, the recent people I've interviewed always have like some kind of mentor or guide or like teacher, as you would say, where they can look up to. But it's interesting framing, definitely, because I mean, yeah, the pedestal thing is true, especially like also with clients. You don't put them on a pedestal; you're just like equals, right?
Yep.
Equal individuals, and that's yeah, that's super interesting.
Because like
path
I
to view
do,
that. Yeah.
like I don't want to say I never had mentors. I just don't see them that way. I see it as people that I'm
Mm.
learning from, because I think mentors, they kind of like, what happens is that people think, oh, he only got to where he is today because of his mentor. And yes, to an extent, that's true. But you could buy a course, you could buy a mentorship and not get any results. I believe you have to literally put 80-90% of the work in. 10%, he just tells you whether what you're doing is right or wrong, or if you're in the right direction. Oftentimes, he's just telling you that's the right direction, go for it. He can't actually guide you step by step. So that's why I think
Yeah.
the mentorship thing is now more of an ego in the space rather than actually something that is beneficial.
Yeah. So you're a big team player now. I mean, you're working on 3 to 4 different projects with people on your level, with people under you, of course, where you manage people, you have your EA, etc. Would you say it was always this way, that you were a team player and working with other people, or did you have a phase, especially like in the clipping times or the gym times, at the starting phase, where you were just, yeah, basically by yourself and just had to log in and grind alone?
So for me, it was, so when I first got into like entrepreneurship, into business, I lost all my friends. Like there was only like one that stayed, which was Ryan, and it was because I was like just doing all these different things that they just couldn't understand, right? They would take things as like me being egotistical, like me saying, "Yo, I'm this guy, like I'm the bee's knees," right? And it's like they just couldn't. I think they just couldn't hack it, right? They couldn't see me progress and get better, and they weren't, right? As like harsh as that sounds, that is the case, right? That is what it looks like. Because during my DGen era, when I was at uni, just like I broke up with a girl, I was like not a very like admirable person. So them now seeing me go from that to now trying hard in the gym, like it was an overnight switch for me. It was like overnight I became the most disciplined like person ever. It's like it was always there underlying, but now it activated it. And it's like they couldn't recognize this person. And yeah, so I was always on my own throughout the journey up until like maybe 2 months ago, right? And I was on my own, but Ryan has always been there. Like I can't say he wasn't. And I've always had a team. So in clipping, I hired editors because obviously I need to expand the output. So I hired editors from India, Philippines, wherever. Hired editors, trained them up, got them posting, would pay them like whatever the margins were at the time. And yeah, that was it. So I've always been good at building teams. I've always enjoyed teamwork, but I've always been a solo. Like I've always just been doing it myself, grinding, kind of just like lone wolfing the thing.
That's interesting to hear. I mean, Yeah, at start, I think most of us have to just go through a phase where we're just, yeah, basically by ourselves. But then, yeah, we do our come up all in our own ways. But networking wise, I mean, now you have a big network, you connected with many people, I think also via your companies, right, and A players, etc. But like at start, I mean, you for sure had also people which you like got to know on your path. What was like the biggest leverage you took there to get to know new people? And did you more like proactively DM'd people to network or just to meet, or did they come to you?
So just to track back a little bit, because a lot of people will be like kind of confused with my story because there's just so many different things happening at all the same time. Like my story is one of those things, like this is probably the first time that I've sat down and fully like laid it out. Like this is the first podcast I've ever done like properly. And so I graduate this December, right? I graduate in like the next 2 weeks with my master's in aerospace engineering. So I kept up throughout my whole business doing all this like networking, if you want to call it, like the business, running up MRR, while still at uni. Like I was still at uni, like learning, going to lectures, doing my coursework, assessments, whatever, whilst having a business, whilst like doing my thing. So I've never looked at it like networking. I've never looked at it like, oh, I want to DM this person or whatever. Just somehow through working relationships they land, right? They just somehow they end up being your friend. They end up people like you've met, you know. And the second client that I signed after the Turkish guy was Sam Zia. So you've probably seen him all across my social media. He is someone I've worked with for like a very, very long time. Like it was close to I think we got past a year. So it was like just a year. Like in this space, it is very unlikely for you to work with a client for longer than maybe 2 months. 2 months, 3 months is like the max. Because then like you're like, I don't know what it is, but people's like effort drops. People like don't really know how to fulfill anymore. They can't get more results. But for Sam, like it was insane. So what happened was I started doing content then for Sam, advising on his strategies, making the videos, competitor research, literally everything a content like company would do, I would do on my ones. Like I was a one-man team, and I would do it with him, and we went from 197,000 followers to 700k within the space of 3-4 months. I'd scaled him like crazy, and he through like that working relationship introduced me to like Blake Anderson, the App Mafia guy, founder of 10x, CalAI, which is a massive company now, UMax. So I met Blake, Nathan Nazareth, all these other types of guys like Colin Myers, who else, Tahir, like there's so many different guys I could name. Like I don't want to miss out on anyone because they're all super nice guys.
Marshall and Joey.
Yeah, Joey, Marshall Cruz, they're like misses and stuff like that. Who else? Tim Chow in Miami. Who else? Rob the Bank, Jimmy Farley. Like I've met all the top guys. Like the top guys that they know of me, I've met them, and it was through Sam. So I'm super grateful for Sam. Sam's the one who was the like medium for me to meet everyone. Like he connected me. He was always like, "Yo, this is my boy." Like Sam, honestly, is like he is someone that I'm always going to be grateful for. Like he is the one who, if you want to call it, put me on. Yeah, like 100%. He's super great. So he's the one who introduced me to all these different people, and I started working with them or through Sam with them. Like he's been great. And that is how I made most of my connections. And I also got some working opportunities. So that's sort of like the connect there.
Yeah, that's a definitely journey. Did you just got to know Sam via referral, or was it like
so
that you just...
you know how I was sending DMs like 50 a day? So I was sending 50 DMs a day saying, "Hey, do you need a short form editor?" At this time, I was on holiday in Bali with my family, and I was still sending these DMs. And at the same time, I signed a Love Island girl and Sam. Signed them both at the same time, and somehow Sam was like, "Oh yeah, let's hop on the call." I missed the first call. Like I literally missed the first call with Sam because of time zones. Missed the first call. He somehow says, "It's calm, let's rearrange." We rearrange the call, and then on that call, I'm like discussing, like chatting to him. Super, we like kick it off straight away. I pitch him the number. I think it was like 30, I think it was 2,500 or 3K at the time. Pitched him, closed it on the call. That was it. So It's like there is
Right.
a method. Like you will get the results from being consistent. Like me posting 50 DMs a day. As soon as I assigned him, I was like, every other DM that I've ever done was worth it. So
I
that's
mean,
how it
yeah,
happened.
you basically you've gone fully on volume. Volume negates lack, right? So
I
you were
mean,
more like just sending the messages every day, the 50, instead of going full personalized. Would you say in today's age it still applies to
it,
just put out volume, or would you say if you would do it now again, or for somebody like you, just like 3 years ago, but in today's age,
I think
would you do
like
more the personalized road?
I think the game has changed, but I don't think it's changed too aggressively. Right? I think there are more people sending DMs. There are more people saying that they're content strategists. They can build media teams. They can basically do what I do, but they can't. Like I'm still very very humble and thank God for everything, but they still can't. Like I've seen it myself. Right? It's either glorified clipping agencies, or they want you to deposit 10K into WAP, or they're just gonna hire a VA and editors from India, Philippines, and just give you videos every week. They don't actually get you the results that they say they're gonna do. So if you're someone who can get people results and you believe that you can get people results, then you have to do a couple of things. You have to make sure that your Instagram profile is verified, you have a good profile picture, and you post content, right? Because when you get a DM, these guys, they get tons of DMs. So they're going to only open people who are verified. They're going to open people and then they're going to go to the profile to double check if the guy is who they say they are, right? So one thing I recommend is make sure your profile looks professional, or at least it is genuine. My profile does not look professional. It's just genuine. Like I just do whatever I want on there. But that's my unique edge. Like people like me and people follow me and people work with me because I'm funny. I like just do whatever. I don't really care. And it's like that is the changer. So now you have to do this. So you have to make your profile look good. Then you do have to send out a volume of DMs. You can't send one tailored DM to one guy a day and expect to sign every single client, right? You have to throw up as many shots like possible. Like Kobe's got like I love everyone uses this, but Kobe's got one of the most shots thrown up, right? But that's why he's also got like some of the biggest points, and that is exactly the same sort of like ideology and mindset you need to take to business. You just need to throw up a lot of shots because eventually you're going to start sinking, right? I think we have survivorship bias where we only look at the top, like people who have made it, and see what they did to get it there, but like they don't see all the people who did things and failed, right? Whereas if you actually analyze all the people that failed and see what did they do, oftentimes they just didn't try it for long enough, or they didn't send enough DMs, or they didn't have a polished account, or they didn't put enough reps in to actually understand the skill they're selling. They're literally more trying to get that Stripe links, screenshots so they can put it on their story and sell a course. Whereas for me, it never was that case. I was actually trying to learn skills. Like I was not bothered about money because I knew money would come later on. Like somehow, some way, it would land. So for me, it was like I was just trying to do these things like side quests, main quests, just build skills because I knew that was going to be the thing that sets me apart. Because once my foot is through the door, I know I can get an account to 1 million followers. I did that with Sam. So it's like once that happens, then Sam is going to link you to every single person he knows because you've helped him out so much. And that is the method. That is the way you need to do it. You need to become inevitable, where all your skills, you're building them every single day. And then you literally go and approach one client, two client, 100 client, 50, 1,000, right? You sign that one client and then you over deliver with like a cut in pricing, because then they're going to have less expectations. So when you blow them away, then you slowly ramp up how much you're doing for them. And then it just becomes this like crazy business opportunity. And that's literally what I advise everyone.
So basically, just get your first client in house when somebody doesn't have like any results, and then just like over deliver. If you have to do it for free, even do it for free. So just the people see what work you put in, and then you can just leverage the testimonial case studies, and this person will most likely
Exactly. Like
great work also refer you.
I would literally leverage my TikTok faceless accounts to get my clients. They would say, "Oh, I've done this with Emerald," and like I would literally refer to it like a third party. And it's like that is all you need. You need case studies, testimonials on your account, on your thing, and then that is how you're gonna get like everything you've ever wanted, right? I'm just making sure my camera's not tweaking.
Yeah, you're good. That's super interesting.
Yeah.
What would you say? Like, I mean, to grew Sam's account to this size, I mean, it doesn't just take a bit of short form knowledge. I mean, in between there, you definitely had to learn new things. Would you say you just like did more like the learning by doing thing, as you just
Yep.
came from the Faceless brand, or did you just like try to research etc. before working with him?
So um, I knew how to social media works through Faceless. Like I'd become very good at it. I knew how the algorithm works, but it was a totally different ball game doing it for an influencer client. Like influencers are the hardest difficulty of clients you could get. Entrepreneurs are the easiest because they can see a direct return in what you do for them, right? For example, if you sign an e-com guy who has a mentorship program and you get them 1 million views and then their revenue goes up with the course, it's a pretty direct ROI. With influencers, there is no ROI you can track. It's literally just followers, brand deals. It's super difficult, and you can't apply the same sort of marketing angles that you would with entrepreneurs. So for me, it was learning on the job. Like I'd literally, before every single client, when they said, oh yeah, let's hop on a call, when I did get that call, I would literally draft up a Miro board with like a plan of what I would do for you. And I've never not signed a client after I've shown them that Miro board. There's only one, but that was like kind of like I did sign them, I didn't sign them. It was more of a co-partner working relationship. But that is the method, right? You sign that call, you literally put the effort in to build a Miro board, to put the plan, because then they can tangibly see how you are going to fit into the business. Whereas if you just hop on that call, be like, yeah, this is what I do, and you just say a bunch of words, and then you pitch the price, they're going to be less convicted unless you've got tons of testimonials. So what you got to do is you build out a Miro board, you put tons of effort in, and then when you hop on the call, they can actually visually see how you are going to help them, how you are the key, how you're the linchpin to the success that they want. And that is the method that I use, and it's been successful ever since. I've used it every single time. Like with Sam, I then met, so the way I got Sam to like 700,000 followers on Instagram, 1.2 million on 1.3 million on TikTok, got his YouTube to like 10K very, very quickly. Then we got like a 250K view video. Like we smashed every metric possible. Early doors was, I would like look at what competitors are doing. I would build a Google sheet, look at what every single person in his niche is doing, look at all the top performing videos, and be like, how can I apply Sam's little like twist to it? Or how can I actually make this better? How can I make it look more appealing for people to watch? Is it the editing? Is it the sound? Is it the music? Is it the angle that he took the video? Is it the green screen? Is it the format? Is it the words he was using? Is it the caption? Like every single detail. Because I'm from an engineering background, I literally would look at content as in variables. So I would literally pick out every variable of a viral video and just like A/B test every single one. And then people laugh at me when I say this, but what I did was I actually looked at OnlyFans accounts, because OnlyFans girls, they are the best marketers out there. Like they are insanely good. So I would literally look at Camilla, I would look at the Bop House, I would look at all these girls that are doing really, really well on OnlyFans, like Corinna. Like I know literally loads of them. It's not because I freaking have their subscriptions, it's because I know their content like through and through. And I use those, I literally would look at them, put them on a Google sheet, literally look at every single part of the video. What was the hook like? What did she say? Where was she sitting? Like Camilla went viral because of the way she was sat, because she was sat in a very like open way with her brother. So she had her brother in her videos and she was talking about OnlyFans, and it's what made her go viral like this. And then she would just post the same video. She would find what worked and then just rinse the video one after the, like she would post 5-6 times a day doing the exact same formula. So I took Sam's account, applied similar things by making him do stupid shit in the shower, like literally, like because his niche is like self-improvement and male, like looks maxing male improvement. It was like top 3 ways to start smelling less. And he was literally in the shower with like a thing and like around his back, like acting like as if he's scrubbing his ass. And it's like, we would literally just do these things and then repost, and just milk this variant. Then he would do like these car videos, getting pulled over by the police. And we would literally just rinse them over and over again. So it was like, it was more about looking at adjacent verticals and just rinsing like the formula with him. And that is literally the way it works.
That's what I was saying. Like, you did so much work, and more like unnoticed work, and you didn't really even care that people see it or not, because you were so confident in your ability, and that stacked just your whole personality up. So if people once saw you on a call or something, they instantly saw, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. He got the results. I don't even need to see them. It's just like, this guy's putting the work in, and this guy gets me where I want to go, right?
It was more of like just the way I would speak on these calls. They just knew that yo, this guy knows what he's talking about. Like, you can't fake knowledge. Like, you just can't. And that was the main thing, is like, I would hop on these calls with people, blow them out of the park, and they'd be like, damn, this guy's sick. Like, holy shit, this guy's a legend. That was literally it. Like, I've just brute forced my way through, like, life in a way. So yeah, Sam was the connect for me. Like, he was my thing that put me on the map. It proved to everyone, like, this guy's an insane guy, because then I would fly to San Diego. So then throughout this relationship with Sam, I would literally fly places. Like, I would fly to meet Sam, went to Vancouver, went to San Diego, went to Miami with him. Like, we would fly, like, we were doing US tours with each other, US and Canada. And we went to San Diego. This was like the first, like, location we would go to. And he would like rent like M3s and M4s, because he had like his rental company, Eurus's. That's where I got all the clips from. And we would have like a fun ass time. Like, but yeah, so it's like, he was like, people always think like they can't have those experiences unless they make all the money themselves. But because I was like doing so much with Sam and we were having such a good time, he put me on with all these experiences. Like, I drove a Urus, like, and like all these crazy cars, like 2-3 months in, like, super quick. And it's like, I was having the time of my life. Yeah, it was amazing. And then I met Blake Anderson through him. So him and Blake Anderson were really good friends, like best friends. I met Blake Anderson, who's a super accomplished entrepreneur. Like, anyone who's watching this, I want you to go on his X, go look at his stuff. He is an amazing guy. And he was launching 10X at the time. So I like reached out to Blake and I was like, yo, I'll come on. I'll be your CMO. I'll help you out. And he was like, he literally, while I was at uni, he sends me like this IQ test, right? It's just Blake's way of working. Blake only wants to like surround himself with like super high IQ people. Yeah, it's funny, but it's like, that's how Blake operates. Blake operates at a very different wavelength to everyone else. And it's because he just wants people with high critical thinking, agency. And it's like the way I've now become. I've literally adopted so many different Blake Anderson ideologies and mindsets. But he sends me this IQ test. I'm literally at uni. I literally pick up my laptop. He sends me it. I pick up my laptop out of my bag, sit down wherever I was, do the IQ test. I get like 44, 45 out of 50, which is like insane for the amount of time I did it in. And yeah, done. He was like, yeah, safe. Yeah, you've got the role. Let's do it. He starts building the app. He was doing PMF or Die at the time with this other guy. I forgot what his name is. But we were building this app. It's like a 10X, which basically is AI app learning, like AI learn anything. It was the app at the time. Started doing it with him, was literally doing the influencer marketing, signing deals with influencers to promote our app, the marketing strategies, the videos, like everything and anything. And it didn't end up working out towards the end because of the co-partner. He was like the co-founder he was working with. He took like a very high equity amount and then did nothing. So we were like, well, we don't exactly want to launch because then we don't get anything out of it. And yeah, it won't be that good. So we literally shut everything down. And then he called me and was like, yo, how much do you want? Like for like everything that you've been doing with me? Yeah, how much do you want? And I was like, don't worry about it. I don't want anything for this. So Blake is someone who like earns a lot of money. I could have earned a ton of money there because I did do a decent chunk. But I was like, no, I don't want anything. I did this as a favor for you. Things didn't work out for you. I'm not going to then double up on that and be like, yo, pay me out of your own pocket. So I was just like, yo, this is just like a friend-to-friend thing. I helped you out. Calm. Yeah, it was like a month or 2 months like I was working with him. But like that was the experience. And that's like sort of like the method to the madness I've always had with everything. Whereas like I prioritize relationships and value over the monetary gain. So fast forward like 2-3 months, he has a call with Riley Brown in San Francisco, who's building a app called Vibecode. And Vibecode is a super big app in San Francisco. They basically are a no-code AI builder. It's like a vibe coding app. And he was like, yo, I need a CMO. Do you have any recommendations? Blake goes, I know a guy. This guy's amazing. Hop on a call with him, blah, blah. At this time, I had signed another client called The Trading Geek. And I was with him in London at the time, helping out with his content, blah, blah. And then I literally get the call from those guys. I was literally sat in the Airbnb and they were like, yo, we want to fly you out to San Francisco. We're going to pay you XYZ. Here's the contract. Let me know what you think. I was like, okay, negotiated a little bit, got the price up, and then said, okay, I'm coming. Literally dropped the client there and then, flew out to San Francisco, started working with these guys on a vibe code app, was their CMO, helped them out with the marketing strategies, SideShift. We used a bunch of different UGC platforms, and we'd got like 10 million views in the first week. It was insane. Like, I'd like absolutely smashed it out of the park. And then that thing didn't work out because they wanted to go very, very corporate, whereas I am not corporate. Like, I want to have fun. I say things that are slightly unhinged. Like, they're not that unhinged, right? I just say, like, a good working environment should have, like, good-looking women in it. Like, that was along the lines of what I said.
Yeah.
And I tweeted on this, and then they made up some, like, excuse, some, like, thing where they were like, yo, if investors saw what you tweeted... Bro, the tweet got 21 views, by the way. The tweet got 21 views. And they were like, oh, if the investor has seen this, blah, 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 you know, it doesn't really look good for us as a company, so we're going to have to let you go. I was like, safe, G, I'll go. I got my severance pay. But I actually did come off worse in that deal, by the way. Like, I had lost a lot of money in that deal because I flew out there twice. I was still taking my exams at uni. I put so much time and effort. I dropped clients for it. So I lost a lot of money through that. But I was still like, you know what, I learned so much. This is going to work out in the future. And then after that, I then started working with Sam again. We hit our next sort of phase where he went into info. I helped him with that, helped him build the foundations, the curriculum, the course, the doc. But then it got to a point where I felt super unfulfilled. I don't know why. Hold on. I don't know if it's my eyesight, but it looks like as if it's super blurry, but I don't think it is. I might be just tweaking. That's cool. Right. Yeah, so I then started working with him, helped him out with the info offer, and then I just felt super unfulfilled. I felt like as if I was only doing the info for the money, and like that didn't sit right with myself, and I just felt like as if I wasn't passionate about it the way I first was. I didn't really want to do that anymore, so I basically just said to Sam, yo, I'm not really interested in doing this no more. I think we should part ways. Parted ways with him, and then at the same time, I went to Lake Como with Ryan to the AST event. So AST, Affinity Sales Training, they were holding a event for like entrepreneurs and everything, just to come, chill, have fun, go to a dinner, black tie, you know the vibe. And then, yeah, I just met a bunch of the guys through there, and then we had planned to do Marbella after that for 2 months. So after Como, we flew to Marbella, and then I like DM David, one of the owners of Affinity Sales Training, and I'm like, yo, bro, you should be doing this with your content. Like, this is ass. And
straight
he literally
away
goes, oh, yeah. Yeah, and he was like, oh, yeah, I've been meaning to, like, talk to you about this. So we hop on a quick, like, voice note back and forth. And he's like, oh, yeah, do you have time tomorrow to sit with the team and basically do, like, a mastermind? Literally, the entire team hops on the next day, like, 20 of them. Josh as well. I'm literally there with my Miro board. So, you know my Miro board strategy? I literally put everything out on the Miro board. I literally run them through everything and be like, yo, this is your current median views. This is what you're doing right. This is what you're doing wrong. This is how you should do it. I showed them my systems. And then Josh at the end of it was like, yo, bro, stop the Miro. Like 15 minutes before the end, he was like, stop the Miro, stop everything. Everyone, can you guys leave? I want to chat to Faizaan. We literally chat towards the end, and he's like, yo, bro, I don't know how much it's going to take to bring you on, but I want to bring you on either as a factional or a CMO, like full-time, whatever it is you want, let's do it. Literally, that was it. Like, I then got into working relationships with Josh, where I was now doing the marketing for Affinity Sales Training. Literally, I'm still smashing it out of the park because this is a current thing. And he was like, yo, bro, I want you to come on with Payday. Come on with Payday. And now I'm like co-owner in both those platforms that I came on as like a fractional. And I've never felt more fulfilled in my life. Like, Josh is like my best friend now. Casey, his fiance, is like another one of my best friends. Warren.
Just compounds.
Yeah, it's like these, Josh, Warren, Casey, David, and like the guys that I met, like those three, they're like my best friends now. So this was everything that I was working towards. I was working towards getting this like close circle together, this network, if you want to call it. And now I have it, and I never put importance on it. So it was like, all I did ever was delay gratification and results constantly. I was like, I don't want the money, don't worry about it. Took losses on losses, and I never really made that much money. And then I land this, and now I've got everything I've ever wanted. I have a team with me, I have an EA, I have friends, I have like the world. Like, I've never been happier. And it also taught me, like, you don't need anything to be happy. It's usually when you stop chasing like the ego, you stop chasing all these things you see online, like the Lamborghini STOs and the Vogueras and all this other crap that they say actually makes you happy. As soon as you stop chasing it and you realize that you have everything that you need, you somehow end up with more than you ever would have expected. Like, now we're projecting to do crazy numbers with AST. We're projecting to do crazy partnerships with Payday. We're going to launch insane teams. Like, it's amazing. Like, I can only be grateful to what I now have. And all along, I've only wanted to ever do this to help people, like to show people that this is a route you can take. And this is probably one of the better routes, because the amount of value you can give to other people is just more than enough, right?
Crazy, bro. I mean, you've touched on so many things. One big question I got, and which is also probably super interesting to hear for the viewers which are listening to this, why didn't you drop out of university? I mean, you had points where you probably knew like Python. I mean, you're probably set for life, and you like have the network, have the people working on the projects, which will probably like just compound from there on. But why did you still stick with it?
Yeah. So I still stuck with uni because my parents don't have uni degrees.
Mhm.
So for me, it was like, my mum always said, like, the one thing I want you to do, like, I don't care what you do elsewhere, whatever, is just go get a degree. And it's like my parents' dream as well. So I was like, throughout it, I was like, let me just go get it, right? It's going to make my parents happy. That's the only thing that you want at the end of the day, because when they leave this world, you're going to be like, oh, I wish I had done this for them. So for me, it was like, I've told my mum I'm going to go get it. I'll go do a master's. Like, I exceeded her expectations. Like, she just said a degree, and I like went for the top thing, went for a master's. So it was like, I went and did all of that, and like, I have no regrets. And also, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to go and do it. Like, I'm not someone who's going to flake out. I'm like ultra reliable. If Faizaan says he is going to be at that football pitch 4-7, he will be there 6:59. If he says he's going to go do this, he will be there. Like, you can never ever fault my word or my reliability. And if I don't know how to do something, I will figure it out. Like, it is impossible. The job doesn't get done.
I love this attitude. That's really inspiring that you're still doing this. Would you say, like, besides doing it for your parents, how much did it help you on your journey? Because I mean, probably without the university, you wouldn't be at the point where you are. You know what I mean? And that's what would you say? Like, how much did you still took into the business world, into this space from university, and in just which parts of your life did you still profit from?
So the egotistical response is probably like, oh, I didn't probably learn that much, or I didn't really take anything with me to my journey. But I think later down the line, I'll probably realize that if I didn't juggle all those tasks, do uni, do business and everything, my stress tolerance would have never been this high. So managing like 3-4 massive projects comes because I did all that stuff. Those were my building days. So at the time when I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know why I'm at uni. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's like, well, you don't need to know. When you're doing something, you don't need to know the how or the why. You just need to know that it's going to get done. Because now when I look back at it, I'm like, well, if I never built my stress tolerance like that, I wouldn't have been able to do AST, Payday, my own account, their account, all these different projects that I'm doing, AGP even, which is like sales managing. Like, I never would have been able to do any of this. So that is the big benefit of like me sticking at uni, is just it builds the tolerance, right? It builds the overall stress tolerance a man can handle.
Yeah, no, that's a really interesting topic, but I'd say that's definitely super important no matter where you are to develop this kind of stress tolerance attitude and also habit, because no matter earlier or later it will come either way, that you have to apply it and learn it, but rather do it earlier and when you have the chances of just delaying it and then learn it the hard way. For the people who are starting a brand, especially like Instagram, personal brand, not faceless, but their own brand, you have any advice for them? I mean, you've built your own brand, you've built other people's brands, what would you say? What is like the key factor and like really mini roadmap for the people who are listening?
Just keep making content, right? I think a big thing about personal brands is people think that they're going to blow up in like 2 weeks, 3 months, and it's possible, right? Like, it is definitely a possibility. But I would highly recommend people to just stick at it, right? Keep creating content, keep like doing your thing, and be yourself. Like, whatever content that you want to really make, just put it out there, because you don't know what's going to resonate with the audience. Like, for me, I've never really stuck in one niche. I've just done anything that I wanted to do. And I think that is the biggest advice, because I honestly think me telling you like, oh, do 6-second videos, do this, anything technical and like strategic is actually irrelevant, because you guys all know those tips and tricks. You can go on TikTok. What people don't really emphasize is just pick up the camera, make videos on a subject that you are actually passionate about, you understand quite well. You're like the top 5% in that subject, and even if you're not, act like it, and just post that enough. Like, post it for 90 days, and I can promise you on the 91st day you'll get some traction. It's just like people don't stick at it for long enough. They don't constantly iterate what they've put out. They just post out the same garbage every single day, expecting different results. Like, posting the same video on day 1 as day 90, you're going to get the same results. Whereas if day 1 you look at your video and be like, okay, how can I make this better for day 2, then 3, 4, like by the time you get to 90, 91 video is going to be insane. And it's like, that's what you got to do. And I think it's a lot of people, we don't actually look at what other people are doing with a clear enough lens. We're very biased, where we'll look at a girl's account and be like, oh, she's only getting views because she's pretty. To an extent, yeah, it's true, but it's cope. You'll look at an Instagram account from a guy or a trader and be like, oh, he's only because he's got money, he's got a nice background, he speaks in a certain way. But it's all cope, because why can you not just dissect those things and apply it to yourself? I think we need to believe that we are Build-A-Bears, right? Like, we are create a character, we are avatars, where you can literally, like I have done in my life, think of yourself as a jigsaw and just put pieces in that you like from all these different brands and create your own personal brand. Building a personal brand means personal. The keyword is personal. And that is what people don't do, where they'll just copy videos, copy trends, copy what other people are doing, and then be surprised they don't get the results that they wanted. It's because you're not passionate in it, and your frequency speaks before you do, right? The world can see your frequency. You don't have to speak, you don't have to do anything. So if you're not aligning yourself with enlightenment, you're not aligning yourself with the higher frequencies and doing things because you genuinely want to do them, you're never gonna get the success that you wanted.
And same goes for YouTube. Just be yourself, just see what others are posting, and then just basically repackage it in just your authentic self and your niche, or
like repackaging can be very dangerous, because then you can just copy. But it's more of like, to be honest, in the beginning, copying is better than not doing anything. It's just, you should be aware of what makes videos good, what makes them do well. And I think a lot of people just skip all the hard steps. They want to get to the easy point. They want to get to the good bits. For YouTube, is very much the same. It's like, look at the niche you're in, see what everyone else is doing, see what the general trend is, and go the other way. If you see loads and loads of people are saying, oh, ICT concepts are the best, go do market structure. This is a trading example. In personal branding, you see everyone doing the crazy Daniel Dalen style, which was very, very popular, and it still is for some reason. Go do the Snapchat style videos that I do on my account. It's like, you just need to constantly be positioning yourself the other direction, within reason, but usually that's where the results are.
What if the so-called other direction doesn't match your personality or your authentic self?
You'd have to use examples. Because I think the other direction, you can often, like, other direction not necessarily means like niche or what they're talking about. It can be like the format of the video. It can be the way it's spoken. Like, it doesn't have to be the overall idea of the video. I'm just talking about the way things are usually done. Try and do it the other way, right? It's like, if you see all the sheep are heading that way, it usually means there's a slaughterhouse that way, right? So go the other direction. Like, you don't want to be a sheep. And that is what people are doing. It's like, you've got all these e-com traders, these drop shippers, these whatever. They're making courses. They're doing the Daniel Dalen style. They're doing these clipping with the black bar, POV this. And it's like, what happens when the market is just full of these guys? Audience will now look for the people that aren't like those guys, that are just being just genuine, normal guys. Like Josh has like changed, and Josh and Blake have changed my understanding on what it actually means to be in business. Like, business doesn't have to be hard. Like, everything I've ever done wasn't hard. It wasn't like, I didn't really work crazy. Like, it just felt easy. Like, there's a difference between working hard and feeling it's hard than working hard and it feels easy. Like, you need to align with the flow state. You need to just believe that it's not you doing these things. Like, there is just a higher power that's flowing through you and working through you. And all these things become easy. Like, me now managing all these projects is because I've made it easy for myself. I feel like as if I'm just in flow state with the way I work, the people I'm around. Like, this isn't work. This isn't a business. This isn't lone wolf anymore. I think people have that misconception with content, or let's say misconception with entrepreneurship in general, that you need to work hard, you need to like constantly be pushing the needle, constantly doing this, but it's actually not. Like, you just need to align yourself with like the 100x moves and be like, what would actually change the game right now for myself? If you're not doing anything, then just doing something is the changing of the game, right? So for me in the beginning, I was like, my discipline right now and like the way I look at myself isn't very good. So it doesn't matter what skill I learn, what business adventure I go into, it won't make a difference. I'll work hard just to feel it's hard as well. Whereas if I work on the gym, cold baths, ice showers, blah blah, that will make it so every single time I do try and work hard, it feels easy. Do you get what I'm trying to come out here with that? Whereas like, you need to make sure that you are doing things to make yourself more capable, so it's easier. It's a hard concept to grasp because I've never like worded it. I just like know it in my head. We'll let the helicopter go by.
Searching for you, man. Doing too much cash out there.
Yeah, it's just about to pick me up. I've told him to wait a little bit. Yeah, any questions on that?
No, I think that's pretty clear. It's inspiring. Like, I mean, what you've done and how you look at some things, because I feel like you have a pretty unique and unorthodox opinion about many things, which is really cool. I mean, I like people like this because it's not like what everybody says. I swim with all the fishes, and I'm just saying now go this aesthetic path with Daniel Dale and stuff, right? Like, just post like beige, olive green pictures on Instagram, you know what I mean? And you're saying, nah, hey, like it is like this and this and this, and that's a really cool approach to get to know, definitely.
I don't work, like, everyone does things very, very different to the way I do things. You'll see it with my Instagram account. Like, anyone who's watching this, go to my Instagram account, take a look. It's so different. Like, I'll just post whatever I want. Like, there is no niche. The niche is me. Like, people follow me for me. Like, people want to, like, the crazy part is like, as much as people want to know about how I do content and stuff, they're actually more interested in how I actually get to where I am today. Because the way I've done things is applicable on all fields, all verticals. If you want to be a trader, you can literally use the exact same principles I have. Constantly just developing your mind, developing your mindset, your mental models, the way you compete. And you can literally do this with anything. Like, I could now pick up any task, any trading, anything, e-com, you name it, and I could make it happen. And it's just because of the mental models you adopt.
That would be a great YouTube series. You doing a completely different business model.
It would be.
Like dropshipping or trading, something you've never touched before. It's just like doing a series.
I can guarantee you I'll be profitable within the month.
That would be fire to see, bro.
I think you've given me an idea. I think I would honestly, what I'll do is, like, in maybe like 3-4 months time, maybe when the projects are like more sustainable, where I don't need to literally trade my time off with them, I'll literally start a series where I like pick up a different thing. I'll call like the person in my circle who knows how to do it. Like, if it's e-com, I'll call up Nathan Nazareth. If it's trading, I can call up AJ Currency, or TGR even. Like, just call them up, be like, what is your method? Quickly give me a little rundown. What is your method? And then like, just try it. drop shipping, same. Like,
it's crazy.
It's just the way you think of things and the way you like perceive what the world. I think I work from a state of like frequency is a big thing for me. Your mindset. If you always are in a high frequency state and you just believe that everything will be easy, you're always at peace, you're just doing the right things, then everything just aligns. Like the universe always conspires in my favor. Like I've been saying for the longest time ever, I want to do a podcast, and then somehow you just hop in my DMs like, hey bro, would you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, just chat to my EA. My EA will schedule something in. It's like the universe will always conspire in your favor as long as you believe it will. We're currently releasing a business bingo video on Josh's YouTube, and that video is crazy because it's like all the goals that we'd set out we completed within like the first 5 minutes, and then we had like exceeded expectations. Like we were going up to like random people in London asking if we can get in their cars, asking for donations, asking for their advice, asking for book calls. Yeah, like people want to like say that they have free will, but you actually don't, because you don't exercise it at all. Like you have so much free will and you can do anything that you've ever wanted to do. And I think people just need to adopt the mindset that they are in a GTA game. Like the Grand Theft Auto is based on us. We are not based on the game. You can literally do whatever you want. And the only reason you get negative consequences is because you deep down believe there should be negative consequences. Like if you believe that your business is going to work out and you have 100% conviction, what happens? It works out because you have that conviction. Confidence and conviction is the elixir to life. That's all I've ever had. I've always just had this like confidence and conviction that everything I will ever do will turn to gold. It'll just happen. Like I don't know how, I don't know why, but it'll work out. I don't know what the route is going to be. Like I never thought I was going to be working with Josh. I never thought I was going to be working with like Irish communities and whatnot. Didn't think I'd be working with apps. Like how did I go from clipping to influencers to traders, e-com entrepreneurs, to then apps, and then to brands, and now to software companies working with WAP and fan bases? Like this is pretty insane, right? Like this is something that people dream of. This is people would actually put this on their vision board. It's like I just didn't care about the why, didn't care about the how. All I knew was that I'm going to get to this North Star. I'm going to make sure that I'm always doing things with the right intentions, the right way, giving back to the world. Like I constantly put up stories on my Instagram, like anyone want any help, just DM me. I don't have a course. I don't sell people in the DMs. I don't upsell them, downsell them, nothing. I literally just send them voice notes, and it's me. I literally send them a voice note like, hey bro, like this is what, I'm pretty sure me and you did this.
Yeah, like 4 months ago, I'd say.
Yeah, like a couple months back, I put on my story, like, does anyone need help or advice on anything? And you swiped up and I was like, yeah, let's hop on a call. We hopped on a call, you ran me through your business at the time, and I literally just gave you advice on like literal DMs and the profile thing. Yeah. Like literally everything I've discussed in this is the exact same thing I told you back then. Whether or not you've like actually done it or not is like something I can't help you with. But I'm pretty sure if you'd done all those things, you would have been in a lot better position than you are today. I didn't sell you anything. I didn't try and upsell you. I said, this is the way it works.
I can prove it, guys. He's not trying to sell shit. Not for real.
Yeah, I don't have anything to sell.
Yeah. No, that's the approach I want to do too.
But think about it, like it's if all the way it works in life is that you're dealt a set of cards, right? You're dealt a hand. And now it's up to you to decide what you do with this hand. It's like I think a better analogy would actually just be the chessboard, right? At every position in the chessboard, there is a best move you can make, right? When you're in a shit position, you don't just freaking flip the chessboard and say, I'm not doing this. I just got put in a shit position. It's like, no, if you make the best move for a long enough time, eventually you hit gold. And that is what you need to do with your life. It's like, yes, you might not be from the best upbringing. You might not have a mentor, a teacher. You might not have money. You might not have this, you might not have that. But then you just look at the deck of hands you've got and you're like, what is the best move I can make? You look at your board, the chessboard, because that's all that life is. You look at it and you're like, what is the best move I can make? And if you keep doing that every single day with the most basic stuff, it compounds. You know, compounding interest is the 8th wonder of the world. I've not made that up, right? This is Warren Buffett. He says it a lot. All these guys say it. And it's because if you continually do the right things, the marginal gains every single day, you end up with gold mines at the end of it. So that's why, like, I literally just preach the same thing. And you saying, oh, it's like when I'm out of this building phase or when I'm doing this, it's like I need to get out of this building phase. It makes your psyche and your brain think that you are not in that building phase. Like what you need to do is you need to always work from the end goal and the end position, your future self, which is your higher self, right? We hear it all the time where it's like, what would your 100K self do? And it's not actually in terms of money. Like your 100K self, yeah, he would probably dash 20K on a shit project. But it's more of like the decisions he makes. If that 100K self knows that you've only got 4K in the bank, he's not going to spend the entire 4K on this shitty thing that you're looking at. If this 100K self looks at your diet plan, looks at your gym routine, looks at your world view, what would he do differently? And that is what you need to do. Already believe that you're this person that who just does these side missions, who is able to achieve anything and everything that he's ever wanted, and work from that position. Like for me now, I used to say like I want to retire by the time I'm 25. I want to have X, Y, Z. But then like just the call I had before this, I was speaking to Josh and I was like, bro, I retired a year ago. A year ago, I never had to work for money ever again. That is retirement. I get to just do whatever I want. I enjoy the work I do. I'm with amazing people. So now I'm technically just in active retirement. I'm 24 and I'm in active retirement for the rest of my life. Like this is the position people want to get to. Same as like anyone in this space. If you have the bare minimum to live, you have actively retired. You should now adopt the mindset like everything you're doing is just to maintain the peace that you have, and you're just doing things because you enjoy the game. I think when you start going, I need to hit that 10K a month, 15K, 20K a month, it makes your brain think that you haven't got it internally. And you have to have something internally to have it externally. And that's the whole game, right? There's so many books on it, like Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza, The Frequency, The Kabbalion. There's so many different books that I want people to look at and learn, because the Hermetic wisdoms and the Hermetic principles are the underlying key things about life. I think one thing that I've been doing recently is I like watch these history, advanced civilizations, prehistoric civilization videos by like Professor Yang, predictive history. He just goes over how the world works, how religions came into place, how countries were formed, how belief systems are formed, what were the initial ones, like the monad, Buddhism, like what do they believe? And it's just like I'm trying to well-round my worldview so I'm the most competitive at attacking problems, which is why I say, give me any business model and I can guarantee you within a month I will make something happen, because it's just the belief set. And that's literally the way I work.
How important are friends to you?
Very important. I think everything that I've done now, I did have Ryan, who's been like my friend for the longest time ever. He has made it much easier for me to like get through dilemmas, problems, because I can like get on a call with him, give him my idea, and he'll give me his like 100% honest advice on it. Like you need friends that will tell they're not yes men, and they're actually like working on the same lines as you. Like they want to get better mental models, they want to improve, because they're the ones who are actually going to give you the hard advice you need. And they're also not giving you uneducated, unqualified advice. So Ryan's been a very, very big part of my entrepreneurial journey. But then also, I think now that I have like Josh, Warren, Casey, David, my new like set of friends, you guys are going to see like a million X in the next like 2-3 months. Like it's going to be impossible to even imagine how I've done this, because they're so important. Like they put people at peace, they put me at peace. They show me the higher fulfillment that I'm working towards. It's like we're always looking out for each other's best interests. We're like trying to do the right thing. And when you have a group, it makes this entrepreneurial journey so much more fun. Like I think it's a trend nowadays to say it's going to be hard, it's going to be grueling, you need to do it on your own. But that's not the case. Like just find a good set of people, have like each other's best interests at heart, and everything becomes so easy. Like the entrepreneurship game now for me is so fun. Like I wake up every single day with tons of money, tons of happiness, not money, to be honest. Freudian slip, right? It's like your inside already believes that you're already there, right? Like I already believe I'm a billionaire, and it's like, I just wake up with loads of happiness, energy. I sleep with loads of happiness and energy. Everything I'm doing, I just know that those boys are working just as hard for our total end goal, North Star, and this is what everyone works towards, and this is the fulfillment that they want in their heart. but they just think it's going to be at the 10K mark or the 100K mark. But it never comes, trust me. Like in my best months, I did not feel the way I do now, and I'm not making as much money as I once was.
What are the top three fulfilling things for you right now, which you probably didn't have at start? When you look at your life
Um,
now, what is most fulfilling to you?
um, like sitting with my mum, sitting with my dad, chilling with my family, like just doing shit like that is super fulfilling because I know I don't have to do anything. I don't have to go to uni. Don't have to work. I don't have to like active retirement. It's amazing. Um, it's like all that sort of stuff, like hopping on calls with Josh, seeing Casey and like Josh, Warren. Like I'm always gonna say their names because they've just given me so much like fulfillment out of what I do. Like their energy, the way they look at life, the way they treat each other. Um, and like paddle, I enjoy playing paddle. That's like amazing. And probably just knowing that like I'm changing lives. Like there are people who before I made content, like if they had never seen my content or I didn't do the things I'm doing, they might not have had the trajectory that I've now like helped them get towards. Like it's not me even doing it, it's just me being like the vessel for like the divine, I call it. It's like the vessel for success and whatever. My camera has just died, by the way, but it's calm. uh, it's just like that is what gives me fulfillment, like seeing people that DM me and message me and be like, yo, you really helped me get over this part of my life, you put me on with this, you've helped me with my happiness, my depression, you made me see the world differently. It's like all those different comments that for me they're like ultra fulfillment. That's all I've ever done this for.
Yeah, no, but it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been interesting to mention also the podcast. Maybe we can just like put this meeting in. I mean, we recorded with the note taker, like the second part here. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just interesting to see. Nothing you mentioned is money wise, materialistic wise. Not
Yeah.
really. It's like
No.
just it has nothing to do with your success, not at all. It's like friends, family, and a sport or just activity you like to do, which doesn't require like a ton of money.
Yeah, I just like paddle, gym. um I just like things where I'm using my vessel to the best abilities. Like I like improving myself, like putting on muscle, like improving my mindset. I like reading books, like reading about history, books, everything brings me so much fulfillment. Like I'm a super just like autistic guy. Like I'm so autistic. Like I'm the most funny person like I've ever met. Cause like I'll just do the most random shit and it's like people love me for it. And in terms of money, like I've had the money, like I've bought some crazy things. And it's just like it just didn't give me the same amount of like feeling I do now, knowing what I'm working towards. And it's just because internally I believe I already have all those things, so they're not like a goal. Like I would never say, oh, I want to get to 100K a month. It'll happen eventually. Yeah, and if it doesn't happen, it won't happen, like for the best of reasons. I think everything in this life happens for a reason.
Mm. That, that's super interesting because I feel like in our space, many people think, probably they realize it when they have it, that it's probably not the thing, but they think that yeah, money and especially like materialistic luxury, cars, watches, rich events, whatever, that's what's fulfilling. And I think for me personally, in life, that's not fulfilling. It's just it makes fun and it's cool. I mean, I'm not
No,
denying
but
that. I
think
mean, I
about it,
love
right?
cars. Yeah.
If you have the car, right? You have the crazy things. You're in crazy places. It's boring on your own, right? Like as much as people go, oh, Lamborghini's only got 2 seats, a bus has got 50. Yeah, but a Lamborghini with your partner who like really cares for you and actually like has your best interest in heart, it's like the love of your life. You're gonna want to do it with that girl any day of the week than yourself. And then it
Yeah.
doesn't matter about whether you're doing it in a Lambo, you're doing it on the bus, you're doing it wherever, or with your friends. Like me and Josh have done like some of the funniest shit, and we've had so much fun. Like me, Ryan, Sam, with like the most basic of events, like the most basic of opportunities. Like we don't do things crazy at the moment. Like we will do this the coming summer. This coming summer, we will do a bit of crazy shit, but it's like it's because when you do look at the end goal that you get to, it'll be like going to events with your boys, going to these like car shows, buying cars with your friends. That's going to be the thing that's actually fulfilling. It won't be just the cars itself. So when you remove them, it's like, okay, you now need to go build that circle, that like ride or dies, people who really care for you, people you'd have at your wedding, people you'd probably go to your funeral. Like Your Lamborghini is not going to come to your funeral. I'll tell you that for free.
Rather buy a Mini Cooper with your friends and have fun with it instead of driving a or buying
Yeah,
a
like we
Lamborghini alone.
rented in Lake Como. We rented like this Opel Corsa, like the shittiest car on the planet, and we were whipping it. Like I was absolutely whipping that like a Lamborghini through the Como like mountains. It was raining. It was going crazy, but because it was like me and Ryan, and we were like, "Yo, just look at us, right?" Like it doesn't matter what we're doing. If we believe it is a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or a G wagon, it will be that in our eyes. And it was just more the connection that we have, the fun that we have. That is the reason we do it all. So just your mind's eye. Your mind's eye is very, very important. And if you believe your life is that way, it will be that way.
Do you split personal and business life, or is it
No,
together?
no. I've never split personal and business life. My WhatsApp is the WhatsApp that my mum will text me on, and it's the same one that my EA will be on. Um, it's the same with my calendars, the same with my friends. The people that I am in business with are also people that I would invite to my wedding. I don't believe. I think Andrew Tate has probably made that famous, but doing business with your brother is probably way better than doing business with like no one, right? Or just like random people. I just don't think it's not fun if you split it. It then becomes a job, right? Then you call them work friends, business friends, network. Nah, it's just like these are my boys, right? We just do fun shit together. We earn a ton of shit. Like we just earn money together.
Mm. Eat with the people you would starve with. Huh?
Exactly, exactly. But I'm not gonna starve though. That's the thing.
No, I love that attitude. But no, it's really inspiring to see your whole journey. I mean, you've achieved already a lot, and I'm 100% certain that, yeah, over the next 1-2 years, and yeah, that you will even get much, much, much further. And love to see the journey. But yeah, where can people like track your success, like what you're working on right now? Is it Instagram
Yeah,
or?
Instagram is the best mode of tracking me slash seeing what I'm up to. Maybe even like I can help you guys out with anything. Instagram's the best. I will eventually be like doing more YouTube, because I think the main turning point will be when I start YouTube, because then people get to see my personality. As you see, long form is just so much different to probably what you see on Instagram. So that's going to be the game changer. I think now I'm finally in a position where I have the people that I would want to do YouTube with. I have people that I would want to go and do things and vlog it. You know, there's the difference.
All right. Yeah, definitely gonna look into it. I mean, already for the research before that, watched some of your car drives. I think you rode like the BMW from Sam, like the blue one in one of them. And
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. That was the YouTube video.
that was also fairly funny. You talked about like waking people up and stuff. Was it like in Whistler or was it like from LA?
This was in San Diego. We had an
Diego.
Airbnb, and we were like in the garage. And because he's like tuned the car out, I took it out to basically film this video. And I like started it with the valves open, and it just woke up the entire building. Like you can put a clip in it if you want. Yeah, it was just crazy.
That is
But I
that's too
appreciate you for
cool.
having me, Josh. Appreciate you for doing all the research. Thank you so much. And if you ever need anything, Josh, you know where to find me.
Always, bro. One last piece of advice for the people who are listening to this.
One last piece of advice is there's two actually. Start thinking of life as a chessboard. Always make the best move. Don't ever flip the chessboard, right? Because then that means you're done. And then the second one is life is as easy and as hard as you will ever make it. So if you think everything's going to be easy, it will be easy. If you think everything's going to be hard, it will be very hard.
All right. Take that all with you. And yeah, thank you for tuning into the TCU podcast.